What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. This is Blue Butterfly Mystic. I'm Kate. And if you are new here, welcome. And if you are not, welcome back. Okay. So I thought that I was done doing readings today, but um I just started feeling this like a feeling of anxiety. And so I started um pulling cards and looking through my book, and I thought I was pulling cards for myself, honestly, and then I realized that this is a message that somebody needs to hear, because part of our power of discernment is to realize whether an energy that we are feeling is ours or if it's external. And this isn't something that I have felt in a long time. Um, but it is something that I have experienced. So, the first card that came out, which was kind of a confirmation of what I was feeling, was the Nine of Swords. Okay. And this is kind of like the not just anxiety, but like waking up at 3 a.m. over whatever it is that you're worrying about. It is like it's interrupting your sleep. It's um and it's external things that are triggering your anxiety, but it's also about how you handle it. And this could be like a habit of worry. Okay. And I literally did a short earlier today that was talking about how worrying never fixed anything. And that, like the story of the birds that I heard in a reading a long time ago. And the lady was talking about how, you know, when the birds need food, they don't worry about where it comes from, they just go get it. When the birds' houses get destroyed by a storm, they don't worry about how they're going to get another one, they just build it. Okay, so the good thing about this card is that it's a minor arcana card, which means that this pattern is temporary. Okay, the next card that I have is Five of Swords, and Five of Swords talks about conflict, upheaval, and loss. Okay. Um, so whatever you're worried about, well, actually, I'm going to show you these two cards at the same time because these two things go hand in hand. Okay. We also have the Six of Pentacles. Okay. And the Six of Pentacles, talks about prosperity and family and inheritance and generosity. Okay. So, what I was picking up on is that you are this benefactor right here. You are generously giving to, and I'm picking up on family energy. Um and what it doesn't have to be money. It could be favors, it could be rides, it could be anything, whatever you're helping with. Okay. And family doesn't always mean blood. I'm feeling called to say that too. So like this could be a close friend or somebody that you consider family. Okay. um but basically the Six of Pentacles, I don't know why I'm saying Six of Swords. um you are acting in good faith as far as being generous. If you see in this card, it's like these two people are kneeling like beggars. Okay. And the benefactor is, he's giving regardless of outcome. He doesn't care that they're, you know, he doesn't care anything about what's going on in these people's lives. He's using the scales of justice to know, like, this is fair. This is fair for these people. You know, they're needing, okay? But there comes a point, and I think this is where this 5 of Swords comes in, okay? There comes a point where you can't help people that don't want to help themselves. So if you are continually pouring pentacles into somebody, or you continually pouring into somebody else's cup, or you are continually giving advice using matters of the mind, and you don't see change in a person, then it is time to put that situation in a rest state. Okay. And when I say a rest state, that can mean a break. Okay. And maybe you can come back and see, like, this situation right here is draining me. And I don't like the way that things are going right now. All right. And either that person is like, you know what? You're right. And I'm really sorry that you feel that way. 9 times out of 10, that's not the reaction you're going to get. I'm hoping that you do. But I feel like the reason that this 9 of Swords is here is because you already know that by having that conversation and standing up for your boundaries, there is going to be loss, and there is going to be upheaval, and there is going to be conflict. Okay. And when I was pulling advice cards, what I got was, first of all, Justice. And Justice is about balance and perception and objectivity. And the funny thing is that the Justice, this person sitting on this card, also has the scales. Okay. So Spirit is wanting you to change your perspective, to find balance in whatever situation this is. And to make sure that your emotional needs are being met. Because if you are draining yourself in situations that are no longer serving you, then you can't be there for yourself, and you can't be there for others at full capacity either, okay? And the last card that I got was Death. Okay. So death is not a literal death, but a transformation. And maybe this is a transformation or a change in this relationship dynamic. Maybe this is a transformation or a change in you, because, maybe this is the first time that you've been like, you know what? I am tired of being a doormat. I am tired of people walking all over me because, they're my family or they're my friend, and they just expect that I'm going to be there forever to help them. Let me tell you something, okay? And this is part of my personal journey. December before last, I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, social anxiety, chronic PTSD. The list goes on. Okay. And me and my mom, who I was staying with at the time due to circumstances outside of my control, we started having issues. And this is kind of hard for me to talk about. She and I have talked about this. And so I just feel like it's something that's really important that somebody needs to hear, okay? While I was staying with her, it was me and my significant person at the time and my children, my 3 children. and she was charging us $600 to live there. Okay. Now, for some, that might not be a lot, but for us, it was because I owned my home, which was a mobile home, which was 5 states away, and I couldn't get back to it. And I was still paying lot rent with that on top of gas and insurance and phone bills and all the things that the kids needed. So this was an extra $600 bill on top of what we already had. Okay. Now, my mother and her boyfriend were basically that there was three incomes for the two of them and one for us at the time because I was going through some mental health problems, and I was doing the stay-at-home mom thing because the person that I was with worked all day. Okay, and we didn't have a reliable source to keep our young baby at the time. All right. And it was like every day my mom would come home with like bags and bags and bags. She'd be gone all day long and come home with armfuls of stuff. Okay. And there was also the matter of her boyfriend and how he talked to her. And there was several times where I had told him, like, look, bro, that's my mom, and she might let you talk to her like that, but around me, you're not going to do that. Okay. And it was the last time that he raised his voice at her. And I kind of lost it. Not gonna lie. Kind of ran out the door with a metal baseball bat and was, spirit saved me though, not gonna lie. That's the funny part of this, is that I actually lived in the house that she was in before her, and there was a crack. Never tripped over it before, and I tripped on it this day, and the bat that I was holding flew completely backwards, like to the other side of the yard. And so now it's funny when we talk about it. It's like, oh, spirit saved my ass that day because otherwise I would have went to jail. Um, but later on, when she and I discussed this scenario, I was like, she was like, why did you do that? And I was like, because you're my mom. Like, you gave me life. I hold you up on this pedestal. And she was like, maybe you shouldn't. And it kind of just like dawned on me. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't, because like then I started thinking about my relationship with my daughter and how I would have acted had the roles been reversed and I was the mom and she was the daughter. And see, once I went out there with the bat, then I started getting cussed at. And if I was the mom in that scenario, I don't give a shit who you are. You're not going to talk to my child like that. I would have diffused that situation, and that is not what happened. And so then my feelings were hurt that, I wasn't being stood up for, you know, and that I was being told, well, just don't hold me up on a pedestal. I don't need you to defend me. And which at the end of the day, she doesn't need me to defend her. And who she chooses to have in her life is her business. It was just that I was tired of seeing her being talked to and treated like she was. Okay. And hindsight, I know that I shouldn't have went at him like that, but that situation right there opened my eyes to what my relationship with my mom at that time actually was, because I had this romanticized version, and once I started living with her, I realized that it actually wasn't that way. And that she wasn't standing up for me, and that and I felt like I was being used at that time because we were trying to save and get out of her house, but she knew that if she charged us so much that we wouldn't be able to leave, and she was guaranteed that money every single month, and that upset me. So with that being said, she and I have healed from that situation, thank goodness. It took a a death, um, and a long separation of a couple months. I'm talking like 6 months. I didn't talk to my mom. Uh, but both of us learned from that. Both of us learned from that situation. 15:15 on the timer. Um, and I just felt like somebody needed to hear that, because I can't, it could be your mom, it could be anybody that you could be having this with. And the reason why I never questioned, $600 was because she's my mom and she's going to do what's fair, right? And that's not always the case. Her reasoning, because, several times I had been like, can you please, like sit down with me with the bills, and, we'll talk about this. And that never happened. And then when I addressed that after the fact, the reason I was given was because that's what she felt was owed to her. Um, and I didn't like that, because I'm like, I'm your child. I'm not a business transaction, and I came to you for help. And I'm not saying that we were supposed to stay there for free. I just felt like that amount of money at the time wasn't fair. Um, but like I said, she and I have healed from that, and we've got a much better relationship now than we did. And that was, like a year and a half ago. So I'm hoping that whoever it is that you're dealing with, that you guys can come to an understanding, even if you have to take some kind of break to gain different perspective. And, I'm hearing separation for further growth. Okay. And the last thing that I want to share, I actually wrote this down. So the numbers on the cards that came out were 956. Okay. So first I heard birth months. So 9 being Virgo, 5 being Gemini, and 6 being Cancer. So that could be either you or the person that you're dealing with, or it could be one of their main three, like the sun, moon, or rising. Um, but also, the last thing that I want to say is I wrote this down, angel number 956, and it says, angel number 956 reminds you not to judge yourself for the things you cannot change. And even the things you can change, it's important to have compassion for yourself versus contempt. Okay? Because we're all just doing the best we can with the information that we are given, with what we are taught, the experiences that we have. And I'm being led to tell you that Spirit wants you to start honing in on your intuition. And that means practicing mindfulness. Like every time you start feeling angry or every time you start feeling anxiety, the first step is recognizing it. And sometimes that takes a while. And there's a lot of people that don't even care to be like, I'm feeling this. Why? Why am I feeling this? And, like, not only just the why, but how can I change this? What can I do to make this better? And especially if it's an emotion that keeps coming up time and time again, where did that trigger come from? When is the first time that you felt that? And healing, I don't know about anybody else, but it's my understanding that healing is a lifelong process. Okay. And healing isn't about making the triggers go away. Healing is about when those triggers happen, being less and less reactive to them. Okay. The more you recognize, hey, I'm feeling anxiety, and then immediately, like, choosing to either take yourself out of that energy or doing something to get yourself out of that energy, to transmute it, whether that's, you know what, I'm going to go outside and put my feet in the dirt. That's my first thing that I do. Or listening to an upbeat song that gets you in a good mood, or journaling, or coloring, or dancing, or whatever it is that, kind of like get wiggles the crap out of you. Like, not, you know what I'm saying, but like, it helps you change your mood from the low vibration to the higher vibration. Okay. um I guess that was it because I lost my words. All right. If you have stuck around this long, because I was not expecting this video to be this long, if you stuck around this long, I hope that it helped. Okay. I hope that sharing my personal experience, let you know that you're not the only person that goes through crap like this. Okay. We all are experiencing the same lessons in different people in different places, and we're all just trying to figure it out. Okay. So give yourself some more compassion, give yourself some more grace. I'm sending you so much love and light. If this video resonated with you, please drop me a like, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.